Out noticed more motorcycles on the road recently, and not just because of our run of nice weather. Many of them are headed to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, which is going on right now. While most bikers are simply motorcycle enthusiasts, there is a small percentage that Fargo police are keeping a close eye on. The Valley Today's Lisa Bedeau has our story from Sturgis, South Dakota.
There's a pretty big police presence here in Sturgis, but with more than 500,000 people cruising through town, it's needed for the safety of everyone. Police say most people are here just for a good time, but there are a few who can cause some problems. Fargo police say it's the same thing back home.
But in our area, the Sons of Silence, in their own way, try to claim the state of North Dakota. The Hells Angels claim the southern part of Minnesota. The Sons of Silence claim the northern half of Minnesota.
Fargo Police Lieutenant Shannon Ruziska leads the anti-gang unit in the FM area. He says there is always more activity among bike gangs around the Sturgis rally, and he says his officers are well aware of the problems they can bring to town.
They fund themselves through prostitution, drugs, intimidation, and along with that goes a lot of assaults, because the intimidation they have to follow through to show that they really mean what they're doing. So they bring a lot of weapons violations.
Ruziska says bike gangs aren't a new problem in the area. He says their activity has been on their radar for a while. Last month, Fargo police responded to a fight by Specs and Rick's Bars between members of the Sons of Silence and the Hells Angels.
A couple of those who are actually having some friction in our area lately. And it's over, who gets to, be the big guy on the block.
While officers say bike gangs don't affect the average person, they do worry innocent bystanders could get hurt.
They should be aware. I would say not alarmed, not afraid, aware. Like I said, this is a handful of people who are going to cause a problem in a specific location. If you see these two groups, the Hells Angels, Sons of Silence, and they wear big vests with big patches on the back, they're easy to identify that way, I would recommend go somewhere else.
Lieutenant Ruziska says these groups aren't going anywhere. They have members all over the country. In fact, there's a large presence of Hells Angels here in Sturgis, South Dakota. Back home, officers say they're going to continue to monitor their numbers, and they say the street crimes unit will keep a handle on all of the problems that these groups can bring into town. From Sturgis, South Dakota, Lisa Bedeau, Valley News Live.
Now, police tell us that bike gangs identify themselves as one-percenters. It means that they account for just 1% of motorcyclists. So by a bike gang's own definition, 99% of riders are good.